Alright, hello, my name's Sean. Today I'm going to be doing a pretty much uncut video, I think, of how to build this base. So if you're not like actually just trying to learn how to build the base, this isn't something you're going to want to like sit down and watch. You probably won't learn anything and it'll take a while. So yeah, but if you're still here trying to learn how to build the base, fantastic. I'm glad you're interested. I guess I'm just going to start. I'm going to do it how I would in wipe in the order that I'll go. I'm also going to be using B-grade and symmetry for most of it, just for the sake of saving time. I'm also going to put the, what are those called? In the description, I'll have, I guess they're called timestamps of when and what's happening, right? So you can find the stuff quickly, or at least hopefully. Depends on how lazy I get tonight, I guess. But yeah, I mean, honestly, for most of this, I'm not going to have much to say. So it's probably just going to be awkward silence. I got lo-fi to keep it a little less awkward if I can. Honestly, you could just turn off my mic or my volume if you want, but some people might need the commentary, so. And if you do, that's fine. So we're on 3rd floor now, and then I normally don't place TC down until I've come up here. I have in the past if things aren't looking good, but realistically you should be able to get the TC down pretty quickly. I should upload this as like an ASMR video or something. Be kind of funny. So this is going to be our peak down floor. We're on 4th right now. And normally this is the jump up that I leave early game. We end up sealing this off later. So don't put any walls. Don't put any walls here or anything. Just leave it like this. So this is what it normally looks like. As quickly as I can, I get this down. And then I'll start on the externals and compound. Thank God symmetry's working today. So on squares, you go triangles. And the way that I always do this, and you saw my video, it's going to be 7 squares total. But if you do 4 squares out and you put a triangle, you can still use the TC proof to demolish. Just might save you a little bit of time. If what I just did does make sense, just watch it one more time and try it. It adds up to 7 squares in total. I went 4 out originally, and then I went another 3 out just then. That's going to give us that nice little, or you can see, give us nice wall stack gap. So this is the full footprint for the most part. But what you need to do is you make sure you don't place this, because we're going to go on to external TCs now. I really like how easy these are to set up. Basically, you just do this and you just place your TC down. That's it. In wipe, I only use doors. I never use windows or anything like that. And so these are going to end up connecting right here, and I'll show you how that works in a second, but for the sake of build order, I'm going to do it how I would normally. Just like this. So this is what it looks like right now. I know I went kind of fast on that. For this, as early as you can, you're going to want to put these down. If you don't put at least this half wall and wall frame, then this will decay. And then we don't want to upgrade these either, because we're going to be replacing them later. So leave all this twig. It looks like that. Then as I said in my white progression video, I always use gates here, like these custom gates, solely for the purpose, like they're cheaper. Like if you look at a normal gate here, it's 2 gears. And if you have 6 of those, that's 12 gears that you have to have like 30 minutes, 15 minutes into wipe, something like that. Which we don't want to have to spend those on. People get their compounds pretty bad normally. What I would do, what I always do, place your wall, right? Get the middle of the wall lined up with the middle of your base. And no matter where you're standing, it'll always make a perfect circle. I just see people always struggling with compounds, and sometimes it's weird with like terrain and stuff, but... And I know there's like special ways you can put the barricades, but if you ever have a problem with someone jumping over here, you can get a heartbeat sensor, just like this. And you can see how they don't place these anymore. It's in the way. Same thing goes for like externals like this. So if this ends up being raised, they can't place anything off of it if you put a heartbeat sensor. So now that compound's done, we need to get a couple foundations down before we can feel comfortable placing furnaces, because we don't want to mess that up. And I'll show you how to place furnaces too. So this is the full footprint. I don't know why that's there. Oh, it looks like symmetry's breaking, but it's okay. Hope it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so this is what the full footprint looks like. And I'll put a picture over this pretty soon. Or at least earlier in the video or something, so you can look at it. I'll put it in the description. So for me, the next thing I do is connect everything so it doesn't decay, right? But something you might want to do, if that's going to take you a little bit longer, is placing these frames. If you already upgrade these foundations here, these will decay. So you have to put a wall frame here eventually, because this needs to be upkeep. You'll see later. So you want to start with this, and I'll show you why in a second. So you see how we can place this here? If we did this first, you can't place this frame. So that's why we go in this order. And since now this right here is going to be connected to this TC, like I said earlier, that's when these frames need to be going on. Because even like this will decay. So place that to make sure it's not decaying, because you won't be able to replace those if they break. And then the other side's super easy. And that's 12 TCs connected right there. So at this point, nothing should be decaying, and the whole footprint should be placed. Before you even connect them, this is going to be kind of out of order, but before you even connect them, make sure you have at least someone placing large furnaces. I do them like this. I know it's a little uncomfortable, but it's better than it being like a really wide compound. So there you go. That should be plenty of furnaces. And it's super early game, so it's easy. And so now, something that I started doing recently, because it changed the way that I do, I place this differently to make it more sense. I started not using the outer layer of peaks, so I start on the outer layer. I should... I don't inherently like build in a way to make it easy to understand what I'm doing, so hopefully you can still follow. But I started building out like this, and you can see like from here, all you have to do is just jump out, and this entire area here you can fully just seal off. Just like this. These are going to become your inner Peakdowns. These are going to become your bedrooms. Oh, actually, I forgot about this part. You have to place these out here. This is just locker space. If you mess that up, it's no big deal. Alright, and don't place frames here yet. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I would seal this off real quick as well. Something that confuses a lot of newer builders is like where they should be putting like floors, like which TC it should go off. You see this gap here, it just means it's on this TC. I normally try to stick to how the foundations are. So we see this is where the gap is, and if right above us, this is where the gap is. Sometimes if you go off the wrong thing, you'll have a problem like placing walls or something, so it's better to just get in the habit of doing it correctly on your first time. Now after we've got this set up, we can do our inner layer peaks. It's gonna look like this. I just put walls. That's it. That's your inner layer Peakdowns. I would place these just for extra honeycomb and stuff. It's pretty easy. Oh, and then another thing you can do for more honeycomb to even it out is these. Something that's really underrated is placing doors right here and all this area on the bottom, and then also up top here. So we'll be placing these now, and now is where you can place these walls. So if you spam your frame, or you spam your doors early game, it's gonna help you out so much in raid defenses. Like, I cannot recommend doing it enough. It'll make a massive difference early game. So once we've finished all this, I would normally come down here on all sides. This takes a little while, but you can start doing your, I call them elevators. They're really common in bases. They're super helpful. Because I use these, like, they always go all the way up to shooting floor. They'll go through Peakdowns, they'll go through open core, everything. So if you get these, you can go anywhere in the base normally. And I'll show you else. I guess I should go over that now. So whenever I build these normally, I don't put these frames here. I only place these frames. And the reason I do that is because my base team really likes putting garage doors. On these sections here, people will not close garage doors. I mean, on these sections, if you're trying to race up and down, you're not going to close these garage doors. So if you place double doors on these things here in a way that's not inconvenient, you know, like imagine you're going up here, right? And you just do this. It takes like 5 seconds, like it literally, there's no extra time there. So people are more likely to close them. And like I said, they go everywhere. So it's important to keep doors closed on them. So place this frame always. You don't have to do this one. Maybe on some floors you want to do this one, but not always, right? So now we have jump ups on 6 sides of the base, right? Something I started adding recently is this part. You could, honest to God, you can just skip this part, make these walls instead, and just don't do this part, and then make it honeycomb later if you want. But it's not really an inconvenience to me. It hasn't been a problem yet for me to place breach peaks here. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they're not bad at all. They don't inconvenience me in any way, like I said, so honest to God, may as well. And then last wipe, I always forget about this. Last wipe, I did them on 3rd floor as well. So 1, 2, 3. So on this floor, I think we break this one. Yeah. So it just looks like this. You have to place these triangles first, right? But as soon as you get that, you're golden. This part of the base is kind of weird. You're just gonna have to build this yourself if this confuses you. I'm not narrating it very well. So we placed this floor here, that way we can get this. And then make sure you had these triangles placed before upgrading these roofs, because you're not gonna be able to place them otherwise. And yeah. So you got these nice little early game peaks already. They're like a nice little thing to have. You may not use them, you may never use them, but they're there, just in case. Now the next part that I'm probably most excited about is the early game shooting floor that I made. I think these have really good potential, because it's so easy to implement into bases. So we're at the floor above Peakdowns. You're gonna want to put a wall frame facing out here on all the elevators, right? And as soon as these elevators are set up, you can seal this off. You're not going to need that anymore. Now, what I would do just to be safe is to seal off this. And for this, I have to turn off symmetry choose 2 sides to put your entrance on. So I'm gonna put my entrance here. This is gonna be open core, by the way. I'm gonna put the other entrance on the opposite side, just like that. That's it. And as soon as you get this down, place frames here. Oh, we gotta turn symmetry back on. Right, and then you're gonna put your wall here. That's all you have to do. It's kind of a good thing to leave this part a little more open, but make sure you're putting doors here as soon as possible. Because remember, this is your open core. This is how you get into it. So if raiders get this ring here, it's problematic. So put double doors, garage doors, whatever you want. Seal this off once for all. Leave this middle part open for now. And then now we're gonna get started on the open core. Or not the open core, the early game shooting floor. So I know I said to do it like this. It's because I used to do the base like that. It's no big deal if you do that. You're actually supposed to put them here. That's my fault. But basically, you're just gonna frame up like this. And then once you're at this floor here, just put walls. That's it. And then you're gonna finish your honeycomb off here, right? Just like this. Right, just like that. And then the way that we're gonna end up sealing this, I wasn't sure if I was gonna want to do this because it is a little more hassle, but someone ended up getting a kill and a raid defense off of this peak that I'm about to make. So I'm never not using it again. That's just that wall right there. It's a lot of work for one wall, I know, but that's it. And that's your early game shooting floor. And I did everything off of the central base as far as ceiling goes, so no one can use them. I don't know. Maybe you don't need to do that. It doesn't matter, but that's just how I did it. But yeah, okay. So now that we're at this point, you're pretty comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. Make sure that you get like an auto turret or something. Like the way that I did it before, this becomes your jump up later, right? Just get someone to put like 3 turrets. So 1 here, 1 there, and 1 there. And you should be fine. But honestly, we'll be expanding up really quickly, so. Oh yeah, so this entire ring here is beds, right? This is gonna be open core. I don't finish open core. I just give stability. This is your second bed floor. You're doing the exact same thing that you did beneath. It's so easy to remember. I'm not gonna worry about that. And again, remember where you're placing everything. This is coming off central TC. These are coming off of external TCs. And then once we're here, we should have enough stability to seal it off. And then as soon as you can, you're just gonna place boxes in here. There's all, like, I don't know what the right way to place boxes in this is, honest to God. Maybe there's like a really good way to do it. But I don't know. I should do something like this. You can fit a couple boxes. I'm not gonna mess with that. There's a better way to do it. Seal that off as soon as you can. Oh, and I forgot to mention these. Place wall frames before every gap. Am I symmetry off? No, it's not. And then have them have your base people put double doors as quickly as you can. That's it. Alright, so the next part is going to be the roof and main shooting floor. So we've already done almost everything. Like, we're almost done with the base now. You can understand like how we can get this done so quickly if you have a steady flow of mats. So going inward, this is going to be shooting floor later. So face a half wall and then face everything out like that. That'll make sense later. then you put half walls on these. So it's looking like this so far. And this is kind of important too. So normally, so we're going to be adding honeycomb this entire floor pretty much. Make sure that you're doing it exactly like this. I'll show you why in a second. You do not want to place this half wall. Do not do that. Okay. You can place as many or as few half walls like in this middle area. If you want to place more, you can. It's really just for stability at this point. I think we just might place these here. I really fell in love with using these ramps. I just love the way it feels. I don't know why. I saw Salty do something similar to this first, so. Okay, so the reason why I didn't want you to put half walls here is because this is going to end up being a bedroom. And so on some sides, we're going to have walls like that. And look at this, it's actually really cool. Because of this because of the wall stack here, you can fit 2 beds in this area. Just like that. But if you don't have that gap there, you can't do that. So I always include that. I think it's cool. Again, remember where you're placing your floors. You might have some stability issues here. Just like that. What you can always do is you just place like a frame here. You'll be able to place, I don't even know why that worked. I was gonna say you place it off of this, but it just didn't work. That's crazy. Well, what I normally do is I place these frames here. Honestly, I don't even think we need this if we have that. Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to put frames right here and right here. And then I'm gonna turn off symmetry again. I choose 3 sides, so 1, 2, 3. And then you can have more beds in here. Your group, like your goal should be to make it hard for your group to use every single bed space. Like you want to have so many bed spaces where it's almost impossible. So this is like pretty much the whole base. All we have now is a shooting floor. So I'd start with this honeycomb here because it's the easiest thing to do, right? Then you can finish going up off of this that you made earlier. Same with this. And we're almost done. So, okay, so we don't have stability here. We'll fix that in a second. Because we still have a whole other set of frames to put. This whole part normally takes about an hour to do. Leave on the circles, leave this like outer frame part down. And then the reason we do that is for these peaks here. I really like them because you look down more than you can with a low wall. So I've just been using them a lot. And now we should be able to place these. Then rule of thumb everywhere, I put a frame down here. You normally put a frame up here if you need stability. And so I'm gonna build up to, I'll show you where I need to add them. This set of frames here. That's all the frames. And maybe you saw in the video, you ladder up here or something like that. And this is how I would do it. You just demolish it and jump. And you just run around and upgrade all of them. And you just do that all the way up. It's pretty easy. It's just a little tedious. You get better at it over time. Like I said earlier, everywhere there's a frame, you're normally going to be putting wall frames. But without these frames, you're not going to be able to put this window. So make sure you get them down. The one thing I wish I did better in this space is I wish I sectioned off the shooting floor a little better. I think that would have been cool. I think I have this frame placed. These right here are going to be turret pods. You see the reason I put that half wall is because without it, I haven't been able to get stability there. I've really been liking windows instead of these roofs. I think these are overrated. I like these gaps here. Like most people try to cover them, but you can actually use them. Most people will have beds on their roofs. I recommend doing that too. But if you have these beds, you can always just come up here, and if they're in your shooting floor, but some peaks you get are like disgusting from this. Like there's some clips I have in the progression video again, using these, which is ridiculous. And then windmills, you know, normally we just put them here. And of course there's a 20 turret limit, so maybe 3 windmills. Just like this. And I like these a lot too, because I think we can place this. I don't know where it was. Is it here? Yeah, so this is an easy way to like get to the windmill for electricity people. And then I guess the last thing I need to show you is the open core. That's not what I meant to do. So because of the new update, or the new DLC, we haven't been doing this, but normally you'd put boxes like this on these ramps, and it's really nice. I think T showed me that. I liked it a lot. But now we put disco floors there, of course. It's more important. And a little tip I've learned after I think 4 wipes now of building this, and every single time like not knowing how I was gonna seal off or how I was gonna place these boxes, don't put these half walls until you placed your boxes on them, okay? It's gonna save you a lot of effort. You're welcome for that one. And then normally we put 2 windows here. Why? I don't know. I just kind of like the way it feels. You can put 2, 3, 3s or whatever you want. You can get 4 boxes, just like this. Let me just seal it off like that. All the way down, as many turrets as you want. And that's the open core. And yeah, I don't think I forgot anything. If you wanted to put another compounder on it, my favorite way to do these, I think we just leave stone, yeah. My favorite way to do these is to use these little gates. So basically you put 2 triangles out, 2 windows, nothing else. And you're gonna get this as close as you can, pull back just a little bit. It's not rocket science, you can pull it back more or less, it doesn't really matter. All you're affecting is this gap, it's already small enough. But as long as you pull back, you'll be able to place that middle triangle there. And then all you have to do is just wall together. And like I said earlier, set the middle of the base in the middle of the wall. And that's gonna help you out a lot. Well, I can show you what kind of circular shape you can get. Assuming that we had it perfect, of course. But you see how cylindrical this is? But of course, in a real server, you notice it's not gonna be big enough. So you make something awful. Yeah, this looks more realistic. Yeah, that's all I have. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Join the Discord in the description. You can just @me there. I'll also answer questions and other people can help you. Probably a lot faster than I'll be able to. But yeah, thanks for watching and good luck building this base, guys.